Let's move it on. We got the Los Angeles Chargers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of an interesting game, but in many ways, but also kind of not. We'll see. I mean, this Tyrod Taylor situation is still looming. Is Lynn really going to give Tyrod Taylor the job back when Justin Herbert looks so good? I think that's a hard thing to do, but given that the team doctors punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung, maybe for insurance reasons and for lawsuit reasons, they have to give him the quarterback job back. But oh boy, the Chargers. Don't go back to Tyrod Taylor. It's obvious that Herbert's the guy. But anyway, let me hit you with projections here. I actually don't, because Tampa Bay's defense is just so strong, especially against the pass this season. Well, they're strong against the run, too. They're strong everywhere. Gotta like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, which means I don't love the Los Angeles Chargers offense this week. Although I'm a start this week on Ekeler. I think you got to start him every week. He'll get you catches now. I loved seeing him get 11 receptions. That made me feel a lot better. Who else? Joshua Kelly. I'm always of the opinion that you got to watch Justin Jackson. At some point, he's going to come back. And does Justin Jackson wrestle that secondary running back job away? I would say odds are against that, but something you should keep your eye on. Keenan Allen definitely has new life. I think he's definitely startable, especially in PPR leagues with Justin Herbert, even against this tough defense. And Hunter Henry, I think, could get into the end zone this week, but touchdowns are going to be scarce for the Chargers. For Tampa Bay, love Brady. He's looking better the last 2 weeks. He's got, although Godwin went out again towards the end of that game. Ugh. Running backs, gosh, I'm staying away from this until one of these guys can wrestle the job away from the other one. I don't like Ronald Jones. I'm on record. I think Fournette is better. He's just not getting the running back one snaps I want to see, so I'm going to stay away. I do have start projections, computer projections rankings on both of them for what that's worth, so you could start them, but that's more daily fantasy than redraft for me. Let's see here. Oh, and receivers, we'll see what's up with Godwin, but Evans, even if he's getting 2 receptions, if they're both touchdowns, I think it's okay. Gronk showing some life. I have him as a projected start as well, computers, but again, it's like, is it going to be Gronk or Howard? Is it going to be Ronald Jones or Fournette? I don't know. Tampa Bay's good, so I like them against the spread generally. But fantasy, other than Brady, there's a lot of murkiness. And Godwin when healthy. Anyway, take it away, David.
Well, I agree with you. I don't like any Chargers this week except maybe Austin Ekeler you're starting. Keenan Allen, not a great matchup, but the target share with Justin Herbert in the two games, I mean, I don't see how you can bench him coming off a 13 for 132 one-touchdown game. But, again, temper your expectations. This Tampa Bay defense has been lights out. It was fun. The Josh Kelly hype train was fun for a little bit, and it reached its peak against the matchup against Carolina last week. He was like the auto flex start of the week, especially in DFS. Like, everybody had this guy. He was chalk. So he didn't perform. He only got 8 carries, 43 yards, and that was the greatest matchup. Now this week you talk about the flip side of the coin in a tough matchup. He's no longer a flex option. He doesn't have the receiving role right now to be considered a flex option unless he's in a cake matchup. And even in the cake matchup last week, we saw that didn't exactly follow through. On the other side, Tampa Bay, I'm going to have to disagree. I don't like any Buccaneers this week. I think this is going to be a defensive battle. It's going to be a little bit of an ugly game. They looked good last week against the Broncos, who were trotting out a second and third string quarterback and couldn't get anything going offensively and don't have a fantastic defense in themselves. But the Chargers defense is good. Yeah, they limited the Chiefs. Even though they lost to the Panthers offense didn't exactly do a whole lot this past week. So I think the Chargers are going to limit the Buccaneers offense, like you said. It's a guessing game at running back, which guy is going to be, the preferred option in any week. It's a guessing game at tight end. Mike Evans is been in the end zone. He hasn't really been anywhere else on the field. Chris Godwin's hurt, so I don't love Brady with still developing chemistry with Evans, having Godwin potentially miss another game. I'm probably avoiding just about everybody in this matchup.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think Herbert's going to have a very tough day. Daily fantasy, I'm buying up Tampa Bay's defense this week. I think it's a perfect matchup for them. I'm also buying, by the way, Denver's matchup against the Jets. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. I don't think it's going to be a particularly fun game to watch if you like points, but I think Brady can carve people up. I just think there's going to be too much of a distribution there to have a ton of faith in any particular player this week. Let me hit you with the line, David. It's the LA Chargers. Bovada has it plus 7.5 against Tampa Bay. Who do you got?
I already said I think it's gonna be a defensive battle, so I don't see how I could take a team be giving 7.5 points go against them. I'm definitely taking the Chargers and the points here.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay this week. I think this might be the first game we disagree on out of the whole boat so far. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I believe that they finally hit their stride. They're a little bit ahead of New Orleans, although I think New Orleans finally hit their stride in about the second half last week without Michael Thomas. I'm a believer in Tampa Bay. Let's see if they can put it together on the field. I do like the Chargers' defense. I don't think Herbert can do enough to keep this game close enough. I think it's a 2-score game.